Raffaello Leone Pope Leonard X needs to be restored. What's that? Raffaello. Una stonna Summer and Raffaello. Lady Sarah.
Don't let her hear. Ferguson, the new Duchess of Windsor. That's the Venus of Urbino. The Urbino Venus. Yeah.
By Titian.
It hasn't been restored. Jenny, he's going to tell you nothing.
Dad,
Yes.
I'm thirsty.
You having a good time?
I want to say that I'm really thirsty and I need something to drink because I'm going to fall down soon. I can't walk away.
Look at her. How bad she is. She was standing and she was wearing her skirt.
Marilyn.
Marilyn. Yeah, Marilyn. Dad, come over here. Hi.
Separate room.
The birth of Venus.
Has a separate room now. They moved it from
Or
the other
Venus
box.
on the half shell.
They moved it from the other box to
They
shelf.
moved it. It used to be right there. Jenny, are you impressed by this? Good. Daniel, did you see this? You can take pictures but no flash. There's no flash. It won't come out. They used to have her in a different room.
This will come out.
Flowers. They put gold on the flowers. It's real simple. It's all original. No, Botticelli's. Does Molly Ringwald really have the face of Botticelli?
Which one's the best?
Botticelli is the artist. Molly Ringwald's face.
Where is it?
Birth of Venus. Jenny, what's the other name for Venus?
John, where's the picture?
What's the other name? Aphrodite.
The face meet now.
The face of Botticelli. Daniel?
Dad, what do you mean? We're gonna go get some ice cream drinks now, and we're gonna sit down, and then we're gonna go back to the town and go swimming again in the pool.
Lots of people have been that.
And then we're gonna have steak. And then And then we're gonna have steak
And dessert.
and dessert. And then we're gonna go to sleep, and then we're gonna wake up.
I'm gonna go to Rome.
And we're gonna go to Rome. We're gonna drive.
This tells you all about the individual parts of it. Can you see, Daniel? And explains about the parts of the Virgin, the Venus de Milo. Is it Venus de Milo? Or the Virgin Spring?
We're gonna go
The
there.
Virgin Spring.
We're going down.
Okay, let's go. Just keep walking. The wild boar. The halls of the Uffizi Gallery. There's the Coopers. Cardinal di Medici.
Today's go to the Straw Market first, right? It's on the way.
Who wants to go to Santa Croce?
But they want to go to the Straw Market first.
Who is that? Yeah? Yes? You're bored. It's Cosmo de Medici. Cosmo de Medici was a boar. Huh? Ah. That's the symbol of the Medici family, I think. but you're bored. Is there money in there? Where are you now? Tell me where you're outside of. See any straw on the floor here? Who are we waiting for as usual?
The girls.
And where are we on our way to?
The
The Ponte Vecchio. He speaks a good Italian. The Ponte Vecchio.
We're right by the bees because we're by the track.
Grazie, grazie, grazie.
These are my new sunglasses.
Let's see. Where'd you get them?
At the Straw Hat place.
No, Straw Market.
Straw Hat Pizza.
Straw-
Ponte Vecchio.
Yeah, I saw. On the Ponte Vecchio. Jewelry, jewelry, jewelry. Gold, gold, gold. Here's where everybody comes to meet. Right here.
Here,
Ponte Vecchio.
no, Frank. Yeah. Guys, you know, let's take a look at the bees.
Right here.
Where's your dog?
Right here.
I just want you to see the bus.
There's the Piazza Michelangelo.
That's where we were, way up on there. Grazie.
Prego.
Jenny, you want to stand right there with Daniel? Look toward me, kids. Jenny, would you look toward me? Very quickly, there's people waiting. Could you look toward me?
Taking out around.
Ponte Vecchio. Arno River. Down toward our hotel. Into the Ponte Vecchio. We'll go take a picture on the way back of the restaurant.
What?
Ponte Vecchio, back towards the hotel. Domo in the background.
Oh, that's where Sam and I have to be. Where do you get taxis?
Straight ahead, right outside the Ponte della Vecchio. Tuscan Hills, villas on the way to the Chianti Dinner, surrounding Florence, Florencia, Firenze.
Is that fire
Yeah.
It must be pretty.
Going to a villa.
A villa? That one's nice.
You like that villa?
One behind the curtain on the bus.
$1 million villas.
Buses don't go by.
Three Pines Restaurant. Chianti Hills outside Firenze. Antonio. Chianti beef dinner. First course, antipasto.
Okay, thank you. How late can I stay out?
12:30.
Oh, 12:30.
12:30.
Gave her a curfew.
All right, 3:30. We'll make it 3:30. We have to get in bed early because we have an early to get out.
Three Pines Restaurant. Outside.
Dad, you can have this because it's very strong.
Oh, I'll have my own. That's all
Dad,
right.
I didn't drink any.
That's all right. All right, hold on to it. Good night. The buffet before anybody has devoured it.
Dad, you take one.
All right, hold on. Tuscan barbecue. You want to? Can you smell the Tuscan barbecue?
I can smell the Tuscan barbecue. It smells wonderful.
Where are the bats? I want to know. Where are they cooking the bats? No bats.
The bats are cooked in the charcoal. They have the charcoal bats.
Alan, did you hear about the new group that's been formed here?
Is it called TAD?
TAD.
Tourists Against Drunk Driving?
That's right.
God!
So the Italian bus drivers won't drink
Look
too
at the
much.
nice meat there. Ooh, that looks.
Grazie. The kids' table. And they have a Tuscan barbecue right next. They have a Tuscan barbecue over here.
I thought you'd want to get a seat.
Huh. Agua, do that again.
Agua mineral, no gas.
Yes.
Vino blanco
Vino Blanco
y vino rojo.
from Toscano.
Rouge.
Toscano. Toscano. They're both Toscano wines.
Yes. Si, senor.
We're with Gene and Rob,
Bob,
Bob?
Diana.
and Diana in Tuscany. And
Time
we
to
can't-
eat. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit. The moment is gone. Dinner in the Tuscan Hooters at the Three Pine Restaurant. Daniel? Thank you. Barbecue in the background. You like that? This is Return to Sorrento. Excuse me.
You have to get closer to the kids' table or it won't come out.
Yes, it will. It will. How was your steak?
My steak was wonderful.
How was your dinner?
Right.
Jenny like the steak?
She left.
I understand that she doesn't like the waiter.
She hates them.
How was it, Daniel? How was the steak?
Yum.
settimana, quando mandavi via? Guido, donna, mamma! You know La Bamba? You want to sing?
Daniel just asked for La Bamba. He says, we don't know La Bamba. Ah, bravo.
If you like, if you want to remember me, I might say.
Everybody's gonna say.
Went downhill to attack the Romans, a very bad mistake by Consul Flaminius. His soldiers were supposed to attack uphill, deadly. And this brilliant strategist was one of the worst enemies Rome ever had. Hannibal. Hannibal and the Carthaginians were gone. And during the time of the First Punic War, there was, at the end of the First Punic War, with nothing than pure hate in their heart for anything what looks Roman. It was Hannibal church to say a prayer that he was alive, that he stayed alive. He was wandering through the fields, he found a little chapel, an old chapel. Alice, actually, you know, where we are going to eat. Out there's a terrace, and from that terrace you might be able to overlook. I hope it's not too hazy. Anyway, to get back to the Hotel Giotto, because if you walk out the upper church and you keep walking that street, you forget it, it looks very similar, that street, which leads to the lower church and the one which leads to the upper church. You walk, and he will show you where it is. When you're coming back, you can go down there to the tomb, because very few people, can only one walk behind the other one, you can go down there, okay?
Walking up the hill to Assisi, in this church. Andrea, Jenny, and Daniel Jeffrey. And the Church of the Angels of Los Angeles.
So you go and meet me.
And the surrounding valley of Assisi. Gatto. Wait for Nick.
I wonder what PG stands for.
You're right. It's pretty tough. There's, you don't see San Francis, huh? It's amazing. Yeah, from this. Watch out.
Watch.
Hai makan.
Can you come over here and try to wait in this corner here?
Very dark. Very simple. And Louisville.
Of Assisi. Like every church, it was built, of course, for the honor of God. That was the first reason. And secondly, as a resting place for the man Francis of Assisi, who had died 2 years earlier. The man who wanted the church built was Pope at the time, Gregory IX, who came here himself in July of 1228 to lay the cornerstone. Once that was laid, then building began immediately, and the first section to be built was the central aisle of this present level we'll be entering in a few minutes. That central aisle was finished in roughly in our voice, but we tried to keep the body down so as not to impinge too much on each other. Just to recap what we were saying outside, now in the oldest section of the church, this is the 1228, 1230 section. We're doing back there in the back, side chapel. Here on either side, a side chapel, and a couple more up front. These side chapels, as I say, to go back to the early 1300s, finished about 1330. Just a moment on our way down. But when you're down in the theater, you will notice above the altar was stone to the top of the slowly circle the altar. When we do, you'll notice these iron grates I was speaking of. At the top of the grate, there is a plaque telling the brother who's buried there.
It's really interesting.
Young man, like a baby, the idea of the purity and the cleanliness that we are to have as we approach the presence of the Lord. The painting on your left, the top of the painting shows a Ignatius Francis of Assisi wearing a heart of Friday. The whole symbolism of this painting focuses on an acceptance of God's will in our life. Francis always accepted that will be God symbolized by Christ. Quite prominently, Jesus entering Jerusalem on the first fall Sunday. Right at the same level, easier to see, the Lord seated at the table of the Last Supper, John leaning on his chest, and the other apostles gathered around as they celebrated the Passover meal. Just to the left of his daddy, we're told there was an altar here that was removed in the early 1600s, and that was the daddy of the painting. But it's still at the present work. If you can stretch your hand and release the feet on Jesus right there, Lawrence said he painted with his head sort of bowed in an attitude of contrition and sorrow. Same time, follow the star of peace. On the right was the residence of Jesus in the temple of the 50 days. Mary and Joseph were no practical pictures of all the when he was 40 days old. This is the God gives us here. This is the stone on which the hair was left and the branch was resting. They took the stone out of the tomb at that time, and they eventually found its way down here among the other memorabilia associated with it. Thing goes either uphill or downhill, and most things go uphill.
Going up to the upper church. This is just a waiting area to go to the upper church. What is the city church?
And we see that there is a door into the corresponding putting on the back of one of the saws a figure of some saint or one of the brothers who lived in this house before the whole doll are and go back in between.
Alan, how hot is it? How?
It is so hot.
Yes. That's it.
Hades.
That St. Francis of Assisi roasted here in the sun.
That Dante decided it was warm. It was cooler in hell than it was here, so he just.
That's hot. There's Giotto's Hotel right up there where we had lunch.
Yep.
And there's the walk up the wonderful hill all the tourists are taking to the Church of Assisi. There's Daniel Jeffrey trying to get into the bus, which is not yet air conditioned. And Janice right next to him.
So you made it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to stand over there in the sun. I'm going to stand in the shade.
Every store is closed for vacation. There might be a few open, but very, very few. There's one little shop which might be open. They open later on, about 4:30 maybe or so.
Welcome to Visconti Palace. What do you think about Rome so far?
It's quiet.
Very quiet.
There's nobody
Yeah, we
home.
just went by a
Everybody's
few
gone.
moments ago.
Did you see the Did you see the Cicciaroni?
Yeah, I sure did. And the Blue Grotto Pizzeria.
Mom, is there a pool next door?
We're gonna crash the swimming pool.
You're gonna have to swim in Trevi Fountain.
don't think they have them here.
It would be a perfect place for a swimming pool with our free day.
Starting our walking tour in Rome, first day outside the Visconti Palace.
Group picture, 8,000 lira. He's going to sell videotapes to everybody. Video clips.
That video camera is really nice, but
Thank you.
you
Thank
want
you.
to keep it in one piece.
Yes. Justice Building.
When we came in, it was like Russia's once today.
Hi, son.
How was your day?
I call his mom. Mom.
And a walk down the Tiber River. It's a little moldy. Stagnant.
Look at him walking up there.
How many more tapes do you have left?
Enough.
Oh, God. I was hoping you'd run out.
I've got some good news and some bad news.
Well, you refuse to tell me the bad news first, so tell me the good news.
Look at this. The good news is I have enough tapes.
And what's the bad news?
I have enough tapes. That means more pictures. Looks like the same ones from
right?
Venice.
What they use, they ship them down here for the tour group.
You see it?
You could edit it and have one tape just be all the famous bridges of Europe.
Famous bridges of Europe. Castle San Angelo. On the River Tiber. Jenny, tell me what that is.
That is St. Pietro.
Right.
Or St. Peter's. And it's a church like all the others, which are exactly the same.
No,
So we
it's
have to
not
go
like all
into-
the others.
So we have to, Dad, your microphone is breaking.
It's not like all the others.
Your microphone is breaking.
What is that?
Peter's.
Maybe they could save the Leaning Tower. They would be able to save this building too. Who knows? But under
Well,
normal
they
circumstances, it will
cleaned
not
it.
exist. Because it was a planning
side.
mistake. It was built so close to the banks of the Tiber. It's built in heavy travertine marble. It's continuously sinking forward into the Tiber River. It's a very, very bad. You see how what a heavy stone it is. That's travertine marble, which is mined, by the way, in Tivoli. And it's literally all the marble quarries. Very cheap kind of marble, but very, very strong. Over the hundreds of years. Europe. This dates back to such old Roman days that we don't even understand really what the difference in level. Perfect example where the level was. We are going to walk from here into the medieval section, which is over there, and then over there. That's all medieval, but underneath is 2 or 3 layers of Rome. Now this is some of the earliest Rome we find here. Very few excavations can be done here because the medieval palazzi are so heavy that you can...
Walking tour of Rome, walking down the back alleys. You can't see in the Piazza del Cotone. Pantheon, house of all the gods.
Was empty, okay. You know it. See the Pantheon.
lesson in doing nothing.
Daniel?
Okay? Because I will give you, in a place where there's at first sight nothing to do, but only at first sight, I will give you about 10-15 minutes to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. You are here in one of the most beautiful squares, and it takes one a little while when one comes into the square for the first time to realize that. But you have to look around. You have to look at the surrounding old medieval palazzi. You have to walk around the pretty fountain with the Egyptian obelisk, and it takes you a few minutes to digest the fact, maybe, that this is probably the most important of all Roman buildings ever erected. Long time before St. Peter's stood, Antwerp stood already. In the old days, today we can see St. Peter's as a landmark from almost everywhere, but in the old days there was no dome of St. Peter's. There was a Pantheon which you could see from every place where you would approach Rome. It was the temple dedicated to all gods. And it's approximately 2,000 years old, almost 2,000 years old. And it's a perfect example of how pagan days go into Christian days, and all religions eventually are the same. This was dedicated to all Roman gods, and now it's a church. It's a Christian church. Inside is the burial place of the kings of Italy. Inside is the tomb of one of the most brilliant geniuses of all time, the painter Raphael. And on the tomb there's one of the most beautiful inscriptions. It says, while he was alive, nature feared to be somebody. I know some of you have seen this wonderful inscription. But in case somebody's tempted, don't forget that you have the big dinner later.
You heard something?
I was just sitting there playing with him and he was finally tripping.
No. You okay?
Nothing happened.
The Pantheon. You think this would be at a different level too, wouldn't you?
What?
There's 5 different catacombs.
Back of the Pantheon. Yeah, I asked him about which one he was going to. He said he didn't know yet.
He's in a difficult spot. It's not his fault.
That was given by the Egyptians. Did you figure out? I think. The Pantheon in the background. That's all. He's got a cross on too. From the side.
Oh, well, there it is. Agrippa.
No, it was built during the time of Agrippa, right? Yeah. Right, that's one place we ate.
And the other one we passed.
Piazza Navona. Lambiello. Down there. I don't think.
Only the first few children.
Not true. It's
Street
out.
lights on. Rome doesn't have an illumination like Paris has. But it's in the evening. It's
Fountain of the Very
You don't have bright illuminated buildings here, but it's very, very beautiful. They waited for the right time to have a little bit of daylight, and now it's street lights on.
Eating.
We're eating tartufo, the specialty of the Scalini restaurant in Rome, and it's delicious. And we're not, none of us are going to eat our dinner because we're eating this.
Oh my.
This is called appetizers before the 50 buck dinner.
in front of the Fountain of the Three Rivers.
4 rivers, Bill.
Four rivers. What are the 4 rivers?
Ganges,
Yeah.
the Nile,
Yeah.
Danube, and the Rio de Plata.
Rio de Plata.
Where is the Rio
I don't
de Plata?
know.
I never heard of it.
I never heard of it.
Ask the fountain.
That's Bernini's fountain in Piazza Navona.
Finished? Are you finished, Dan?
And who was
You guys would like to walk over there.
who was the name of the what was the name of the architect of the church here that Bernini had arguments with?
I don't know.
He thought it was ugly and that it wouldn't stand for more than 50 years. Borodny.
I'm going to walk the girls over here.
Dana, which way is the toy store? What am I supposed to look for? Tell us what we're supposed to look for.
A doll and press her stomach and she laughs like the witch did in that sort of Switzerland.
Okay. The Roman Theater, the back of the restaurant.
More or less by Roman walls.
Theater of Pompeius. Steps. And there where Julius
Ghost
Caesar
of
was
Julius is
killed.
waiting.
Julius Caesar. Certainly hope there's enough light here to see this. Where's Julius in there?
She's over there.
Et tu, Janice, et tu, Janice, et tu.
We would only walk here with safety.
Closed for renovations. Know what it represents, that's what it's important. I don't want to erase the plaque. Have some champagne. We don't even know the name of the restaurant yet. At the back of the restaurant. Theater of Pompeius. Restaurante. Looks like pancreas.
Why do I have your camera?
And this wine cellar. The cellar, not the wine cellar. Restaurante pancreas. Beneath the theater of Pompeius. How do you like your straw and hay? What'd you have for the first course? Forgot. Kids are eating their toast. Behind me, actual place, behind this wall where Julius Caesar was assassinated. The story from Shakespeare was being assassinated in the Forum.
Eat this and leave the veal. I give veal anybody.
Do you have enough room for the veal?
I'll give it to you. I know you always have room.
How did you like the straw and hay? Like the straw and hay? Like the straw and hay?
Io vedo te, se saglia con le mura di tratta.
Trying to figure out how to sing that.
La Romanina cantando e la saivo in fiore e la nottata passando e metter papa nel cuore e questa Roma è un canto ognuno gli canta dicendo così lasciatela passare la bella Romanina che non si può incantare. Solo per te volare a cantare nel cuore blu di fare l'altro del cuore blu ma di fare sai lasso con te.
You want more what?
Food! Some good food!
Michael said he saw those little berries in the market.
Pancreato. Restaurante Pangraziato. Pangrazia. Julius Caesar, out from the depths, back from death. Et tu, Brute, et tu, Brute. There's Brutus in the background there. Bread, Julius Caesar. Grazie.
When the rest of the people come down, I'll just go into the theater.
Under that archway to get...
Archway above your head. As you
Oh, that's the first one. We're on the
Yeah.
second level.
Yeah.
And through here?
And then I think up there somewhere is where Caesar was killed. but we're not supposed to go up there. So.
Oh. Did he say that?
I think he was, I don't know, I think those are the steps he didn't make it up. That's right. And then this is the last one here. How'd you like how this is your room?
I hate it.
Yeah.
Where all the rats are into.
Be too freaky.
It's too freaky.
When he first brought me down here, I freaked out. God, I freaked out.
Did you, Ron?
It was like really creepy. He took me through with the camera and didn't even show me.
Who brought you through here? Did you take Daniel down here?
No. I took Nick down here, no.
It's too freaky.
Come out of the door and then...
Ah, here's the axe. This is amazing.
Well, somebody would take your picture and then I think it's over.
Come with me. It too.
Racetracks in those circuses. Now this one is about 3,300 years old. So you see the hieroglyphics still on them, monolith, and I mean it was almost perfect until a few years ago when during a storm, the lightning hit it and dented it all, They said it was like a machine gun, those distant bits of granite, were shooting all over, and there was here a parking place, and you can imagine what has happened to all those cars having those granite stones on them. Now look how beautiful the setting of the square, typical Baroque. Now this is a winding road leading to the Pincho Hill. I remind you that the Pincho is the same hill which is right in the background of the Spanish Steps. So you see El Corso, main street of Rome, and instead the street to the left is Via del Babuino, very famous antiques, leading directly to the Square of Spain. So practically, you cross the Tiber, you come into this square, and then you take whichever way you would like to towards the Spanish Steps. The Corso Street, which is this Aldrich Price shopping. What has made the area of the Spanish Steps so famous all over the world was the fact that it has been a bohemian center of Rome for centuries, and not only Italian artists but foreign artists. I remind you that Keats and Shelley, the two very famous English poets, they lived right on the Spanish Steps. Bulgaria, and then to the left you see the narrow street. They're all very famous for boutiques. While we are now on the court, steps, we have a reef and the two soldiers who are supposed to stand there motionless. Just a second, everybody. We are going to... You see, that's where the soldiers are, is the tomb of the unknown soldier. And today I like the contrast that this white marble makes with the ochre colors of the buildings of Rome, or practically is too modern, for the Roman ruins just behind it. And so they call it the wedding cake, because they say it looks like the sugar and cream, the typewriter, the bite, like teeth. Now, another very famous building in the square is the one on the left-hand side of the square, the one here on the wall, and the balcony is from where you used to hold those pictures. Italiani. Quello in mezzo. And I'm right in the center, the balcony, the cross windows, beside the how to get to places. The Via del Corso is the street right opposite the wedding cake. And this is the area of the Roman Forum. Forum means center. It was the political, commercial, religious center of the ancient Rome. Now, we are going to see two different sections of ruins, what we call the imperial and the needs of the community. It's obvious that changed through the centuries. Whatever was good for the Romans in BC times couldn't be good anymore, for the Romans of the imperial times. When Rome, and most of the experts agree on that, Rome 2,000 years ago, in the times of the Emperor Augustus, had 1 million of inhabitants. Then they say that there was a sudden increase of population to tear down, part of the hill. And can you imagine the dirt, They're transporting it. And Caesar. Okay. So So this is the Forum of Julius Caesar, and a bit more ahead to the right is the Roman Forum, or the Curia, the Roman Senate. Now, we are right at the bottom, and it used to be the archive of ancient Rome before Christ. Then it became a fortress, you see the towers, and Michelangelo just put a new dress to it. On the other side there is a beautiful Renaissance facade overlooking the Renaissance square that Michelangelo designed. And in fact this is something which I would really like to recommend to you. Senate, erected in the times of Julius Caesar, and I'm afraid not the place where Julius Caesar was murdered, because it was not yet finished when the assassination did take place.
It's the Forum. Oh, I'm sorry.
People are leaving. They have their homes, their business. We have the ruins and our buildings, the normal use buildings, everything mixed up, everything together. And we can't bring to light everything. On the other hand, we can't destroy everything, or we can't forget about those monuments. Now, the area of the Roman Forum must have been the sort of melting pot, as London or New York is nowadays, with merchants coming from all over, speaking different languages, belonging to different races. And those maps, they give us a clear idea of that. Now, they're showing in white how bigger and bigger became the Roman Empire through the centuries. Now, we are backwards. We're going to start with the last one, and then we go back. Now, not only 1,907 years old, but I meant that in those days it was built in 8 years of time. 8 years to build the biggest amphitheater of the Roman world, capacity 50,000, 50,000, and those 50,000 people, they had at disposal all those arches at the ground floor to get in and out of the Colosseum. So there were all entrances, those arches, numbered, and in fact the marble is still so original that we can even read the number, up above the keys of the arches of the ground floor. These are the Roman numerals, the X's, the I's, and the L's of the Roman numbers. 84 entrances, 84 exits. 4 were the main entrances leading to the boxes of the authorities, and 80 all numbered, as we've seen, for the 50,000 spectators. And the 8 years of work includes the quarrying of the marble, transporting the marble from the quarries to here, erecting the marble all the way up there, all in 8 years of time. And are you noticing the holes now?
Yeah.
The holes are right where the 2 blocks of marble get together, aren't they? Because holding those blocks of marble together, there were metal bars inside. This was a technique of construction in the Roman times. They were using the mortar to glue the bricks. But in this particular case, against that, at that time, snow white type of marble, the grey line of mortar would have shown too ugly. And therefore, instead, they were using metal rods inside to support the marble. And when, in the Dark Ages, after the downfall of the Roman Empire, the population had decreased because of internal strifes, plagues, barbarian invasion, down to 20,000 inhabitants, when they were counted, when there was peace enough and will to make a census, because in certain ones of the Dark Ages, Rome had become a village. Very few people, with illnesses and Rome, or eventually the earthquakes. I usually say that the barbarians and the earthquakes had an easy job. They found already half torn down buildings. What really destroyed them was, first of all, that they were abandoned. And if you don't keep up a building, it will go sooner or later, and usually sooner. Okay, it's too soon. And then, secondly, the people helping themselves from it. After all, those buildings were abandoned. They were of no use anymore. They were not belonging to anybody. And for sure, the people of the Dark Ages could not understand about art or architecture or things like that. The only thing they could think about was to provide themselves food, for the day. And so they used the marble, for example, of the Colosseum to build St. Peter's Colonnade, St. Peter's Basilica. Many of the buildings were getting off here. Many of the buildings, I should say most of the buildings, of the ancient Rome, because it's obvious that the monuments will bring to light, so the Colosseum, the temples, something architecturally or historically important, we excavate. But what we have still underneath,
St. Peter's,
the modern streets, the modern buildings, is the dwellings of the people, the normal homes, or the normal places where there's people, there's 1 million of inhabitants, we are spending their life. And that's why we have this problem of the traffic. The Romans always talk about the traffic. This morning I have not introduced...
Toward the Colosseum.
Dedicated to Venus and Rome, 2nd century after Christ, built by the Emperor Hadrian. Now, the Stichway is the very famous Via Sacra, the main street of the Roman Forum. On that street were led the amphorae and political procession through the Roman Forum up to the Capitoline, which is completely the other side. Then the little arch across the Stichway, confused with plastic, is the Arch of Titus, 1st century after Christ, beautiful engravings inside. And then here there is another arch, but this time you will have to take my word for it. They are restoring it since 5 years. Well, the works proceed very slowly. On the other hand, most probably we are pleased that they keep it covered, because you see, this is already the 2nd time recently that has been restored, this arch. And you do realize that we can't restore those marble stones too many times, because when the sun blasts them, for example,
4th century after Christ.
Temples are raised.
1,000 lira.
Through the arch of Constantine.
What's such a deal?
Found that Constantine was slightly in his way, and therefore tore down.
Daniel's
Unfortunately,
decree.
they tore down at the base, and that didn't bring cooperation. By the name Colosseum. His nearest residence was in this area, exactly on that hill, because near all the other emperors had the residence on top of the Palatine Hill, which is right on that. And I'm going to point out to you the beautiful remains of imperial palaces. We will leave the Colosseum and we're going to drive away. Then the Emperor Nero, after returning from Rome, had built himself a residence on top of the hill. Where now the Colosseum is standing, there was just an artificial lake right in the center of the park of the residence of Nero. And a colossal statue of him was left standing beside it. So when they built the Colosseum as a sort of refund to the Roman population for what Nero had done, to keep the Romans amused and make them forget about political problems or about their unhappiness, about how certain things would go historically, then they called it Colosseum. The building had the colossal statue, Colossal Colosseum became the name. But the original name was Flavian Amphitheater. It was built by 2 different emperors of the Flavian family, Vespasian and Titus, or otherwise Arena. Arena because the stage was covered with sand to absorb the blood of the gladiators. And sand in Latin is rena, so ad renam, at the sand.
Waiting to get into the Colosseum. 3 minutes to go.
You're going to be able to see the quarries on your way to Tivoli this afternoon. They're about 50 miles away from the Colosseum. 50 miles from the...
Walking into the forum, into the Colosseum.
English book, this way.
Coca-Cola, spaghetti. English spoken. Coca-Cola, spaghetti. Watch your step.
Thank you. Now, signori, I wanted to bring you here because this is a very nice picture, and then we go to a quiet spot on the stage where I can point out to you those pictures that I want. Please look at this partition, and then I will explain to you what they were.
I know that the light is against us, unfortunately for your pictures, but on the other hand, this is really the best view of the Colosseum. Use your eyes.
Robbie, don't get the reconstruction part.